That shit fades away. But when you move, I go a bit insane. Love when you say my name. Left, right, back, front, up all night. Keep you awake all through the night.
Welcome to the KYP podcast. My name is Danny. I'm here with my co-host
KYP James.
Kevin G.
I kind of wanted to let the song roll a bit. See Kevin almost getting into the body rolls.
I don't know why you're always trying to serenade us, seduce us in these fucking intro songs, Danny.
Yo, it's to get the crowd's reaction. And speaking of crowd reaction and getting your attention, this video is sponsored. I'm kidding. I think right now, as episode 1, coming back from new environments and seeing the family over the weekend, over the holidays, the biggest thing I want to talk about during this podcast is really Kevin's trip, because Kevin decided to bounce all around Asia. And Globetrotter.
Asian sensation.
And I think the beauty about his experience is that we can also relate his experience to really a main topic, which is kind of getting inspired by your new environment, right? And so how I wanted to separate this episode is, number 1, why a change of environment is good. Number 2, losing rhythm, coming back to your regular environment. And number 3 are easy ways that all of us can either recommend, prescribe, or talk about for you, the audience at home, to change your environment and just discover something new. And so, Kevin, tell us about your trip.
Yeah, so it was a very long-awaited, exciting, vacation that I took with my family, my brother and my mom. My dad was also with us for part of the trip. Basically all of last year I didn't take any vacation days. I was saving them all up for those 3 weeks in Asia. We visited our hometown in mainland China. We did a week in Japan and also a week in Hong Kong, where my brother currently lives. And there's so much to cover. Going back to mainland China, that's super familiar. So started off the trip, easy, good warm up. Whenever I'm back there, it's mostly about family, relatives, catching up over dinners and stuff. The first real kind of new environment was Tokyo, Japan. And wow, that was such an impressive place, man. That country was impressive from the moment you landed in the airport. I was dealing with Chinese immigration, not just a few weeks before, a few days before. As soon as I fucking landed in the Japanese airport, completely different. All the workers there are so polite, so attentive. Everything is organized perfectly. They make you feel, amazing. It's great service. Itadakimasu.
That was pretty decent,
right? I picked up some stuff.
Yeah.
And that carried throughout the whole trip. I feel like that is just a hyper considerate, hyper optimized society. I was in the subway looking at the person cleaning the escalators. Man, that guy was working harder than anybody I've ever seen in my life out here.
Yo, it's true though. My dad's been telling me that when he was on an exchange in Japan, he lived there for a couple of years, and he's like, that's where he learned work ethic.
Right.
Because he used to work at the clubs in Japan.
Yeah.
And he was just cleaning the floors, sweeping the floors, and he just that's how he learned the work ethic there.
And, that was my first feeling. The first couple of days there, I was thinking about myself. I'm like, holy shit, I suck. Not only do I suck, God. Everybody I know back home suck. Everybody sucks.
James sucks. Danny sucks.
Everybody's a Danny minimum. Danny minimum. Yo, this escalator cleaner was like... You've seen the homies clean things out here. Like they
Yo, they don't fucking clean in Montreal. You see the metros out here? It's black, bro.
if they are cleaning,
Dusty as shit.
they're taking the mop from the floor, they put it on the escalator, and
Please
they,
don't-
they
please
just
don't.
ride that shit.
Please don't say that, because that's exactly what they do. They use the mop water from the floor. Definitely, bro.
Dead ass.
Yo, it's like minimum amount of effort for maximum amount of results.
Yeah. So as a result of that, you know, that carries on into everything, right? The people making your food, the people in the hotels making your room every day. You know, the service was. I've never had a bad meal in Japan. I never had a bad service. Like even when the service is bad, it's fucking phenomenal. So that being said, I've had some of the best meals in Japan. It doesn't matter if it's like a roadside ramen shop to omakase, you know, fancy restaurant. Amazing. It's like they dedicate everybody's dedicating their whole lives into what they're doing. Even if you're just making you just make chicken skewers on the side of the road, you're fucking doing that like
100%.
you're on MasterChef.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that being said, it was so optimized and, you know, done to perfection that it didn't feel familiar at all. You know, at
Felt too weird.
some of these environments, you feel like you couldn't be yourself. Me, my brother, even my mom were characters. You know, we're very goofy.
couldn't
We
be
have
yourself,
big personality. So we're eating at these top omakase restaurants, and you know we want to
Joke around.
react to the food, joke around.
Yeah.
But no, everybody
It's quiet as shit.
next to you is.
So it's a lot more of an
Uptight. Social norms are not to be fucked with. Everybody respects the social norms. So like it doesn't even have to be enacted in law. If that's, you know, the social norm, everybody follows it. So a couple of things that were different. You'll notice that there's no trash cans anywhere in the city in Japan, and that's because it's customary, polite to not eat while you're walking, not eat in public.
Oh, you can't drink your coffee while I walk?
No, well, coffee, I think drinks and stuff a bit more of an exception, but nobody's like eating their
you can't eat in the metros and
their
stuff.
breakfast. Yeah, nobody does that.
Yeah.
There's no signs. It's just nobody does it, and there's not a single piece of trash on the floor, despite there not being any garbage cans around. You don't smoke outside. There's some bars and izakayas you can smoke in. Nobody smokes outside. Everybody follows the rules.
Wait, what? No one smokes outside?
Yeah, it's been banned.
Like
And
cigarettes?
Cigarettes. Yeah.
Outside? Where did you smoke?
There's designated
like
smoking areas.
Indoor?
There's outside areas that are designated smoker areas, or there's some bars and pubs that you smoke indoors.
Indoors?
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
I don't know, but
guess
I can't smoke in the alleyway or whatever?
No, because they don't want cigarette butts on the floor.
yeah.
Oh, makes
And
sense.
I was thinking about that rule. If we tried to implement that without like having fucking a SWAT team on every corner, there's no way anybody could fucking go through that. But I was looking as I was walking down
No buds.
Yeah, no buds, no garbage, no nothing. So that's my experience of
So
Japan.
clean.
Yeah. I'm curious, have you guys ever been to a place where, you know, you were just shook at the cultural differences?
I think for me, really, the first thing that comes to mind is when I go to, you know, the Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, when I go on vacation.
Yeah.
It's,
What do you think?
it's nice. It's so laid back.
Oh my
know?
God. Yeah, it is laid
It's
back.
the beach vibe.
Yeah, it's a
resort
beach
vibe.
vibe.
It's fucking slow, bro.
It's so slow. Like sometimes I'm on my phone. I'm trying to like check my emails and things like that. And then guy walks up to me. It's like, brother,
chill.
He like hands me a pina colada. I turn around. The chef is like making a paella on the side of the beach. Everyone's just chilling.
Yeah.
But then I don't think it counts for me because it's really vacation mode. I'm in a resort. But one thing that shook me is New York. How much of a hustle and bustle city it is.
Yeah.
Like I go visit my friends
Oh my God.
and then like, hey, do you do you want to hang out tonight? It's like, oh, sorry, I just have a spot from 7:15 to 7:55. Then I have 25 minutes to head to some place, and I have a reservation at 8:25, at 9:25. I'm like, hey, yo, what the fuck in Montreal? Like after 6 o'clock, my schedule doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
So people are constantly running around. They still have schedules, everything. And I think coming back to the main topic, and I want your input too, Kevin, is New York really taught me how to manage my life correctly. It's such a change of environment. It's a drastic change of environment enough for me to be like, yo, I'm loafing around. I'm not doing enough. And that's why, like, when I go to New York, I wouldn't live there. Honestly, I would never live in New York. It's too much of a
crazy town.
Big fish eat small fish type of world. I do want to take that work ethic and bring it to what I'm doing right now. And Kevin.
Yeah, you mentioned New York being a hustle and bustle city. That's what I felt when I then visited Hong Kong. A lot of people say it's the New York of Asia, and you definitely feel it's fast paced.
So fun.
It's really fun as a visitor, but you can tell everybody works extremely hard. Everybody, it's definitely work hard, play hard culture, especially in the expat kind of international professional community. That's what I was introduced to through my brother. It's not just Hong Kong, Japan, even China. I just feel like in Asia, because it's such a competitive environment economically, there's no time for nonsense. Like, I feel like growing up in Montreal, it's very joie de vivre, laid back, relax, take your time, take the scenic route, enjoy everything. Everybody else in Asia, there's a fuck ton of money in Asia, but then there's also a fuck ton of inequality and people who are struggling, but everybody knows their place. Everybody knows that if they're not on the grind, they're not going to make it to the next week, next month, whatever it is. That definitely woke something up inside me, and I reflected on how much time I waste in my daily life out here in Toronto. And coming back, the first thing I wanted to do is I need to learn how to fucking schedule my time. I need to learn how to schedule my time. Another big change is during the trip, I wasn't smoking any weed, just because you can't do that out there. First night I came back, I saw some friends, I sparked up as usual, and then I just felt like, yeah, that's cool, but I kind of didn't like it as much. Like, I was so used to being off it for 3 weeks that
it was kind of nice.
Yeah, it was kind of nice. It was the first time in a long time where sparking up wasn't wasn't a benefit. So over the last couple of weeks, I've been I have to start really slow. So one thing I learned from this change of environment is, like Danny said, being inspired to make a change after seeing so many people live in a certain way. When I realized that now that I'm trying to make a change, you really start to realize how deep the problem is. And that's what I'm going through. I'm like, so 1 week I set my schedule, and then, maybe I was able to follow it 30-40% throughout the week. And I'm like, wow, Kevin, you can't even follow this. Like, I'm looking at my phone and I'm in the middle of doing one thing and it's going in and eating up the next thing I have scheduled. I'm like, oh fuck, and they're very simple things, like go do these errands, go get the groceries, go to the gym, stuff like that. So I, number one, new environments inspire me to make a change. Number two, starting the journey is when you really see, how long the path is going to be. And, I'm pretty confident that I do want to move in this direction, and hopefully I can do it.
Jay, what about you? Have you seen like a different change of environment? And
Yo, I mean, I went to Hong Kong, Korea last year around this time, and best time of my life, man. I don't know if you talked about it, but did you party? Because like, party scene was nice. Like,
Yeah.
especially Hong Kong.
Yeah,
And I feel like the hustle bustle culture, the party culture is crazy.
it has to be.
Work,
Yeah,
work
Yeah.
hard, play hard, right?
yeah,
You went to Lang Kwai Fong.
LKF. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the party scene is so concentrated.
Yeah,
in
it's like
Hong
a
Kong.
small strip almost.
One night of going out,
Yeah.
you hit 4 places minimum.
Yeah, minimum.
And you know here where we planned a night is like, oh, is it going to be a Ghana night? Is it going to be a Dacha club night? Either or,
Yes.
right? Over there,
Yeah.
the way they talk about planning their night out, it's rotation. What rotation we going to go
It's
at this time? Are we going to
crazy,
start A,
bro.
B, C, D, or C, D, B, C, or
So we did one bar. We got one drink there at LKF, and then we go to a rooftop bar. It's just a group of people in a rooftop. We're drinking a couple beers, and then we go. Then we go to another club. We go to like a stereo bar type of thing. We go there.
I heard about that club,
Yeah.
Oma, but it was closed.
Yeah, we go there,
Yeah.
and then we go to another fucking bar to end the night. And there's like pool tables, there's dancing, and then it's not that full, like but everyone's drunk, and people are smoking inside. It's just a crazy night. And Korea was the same, man.
Yeah, Japan is the same too. So
Yeah,
whenever I think we see these hustle and bustle cultures, the nightlife is crazy. You see drunk businessmen everywhere,
just drunk
Yeah.
kids, like international kids, expats, from all kinds of cultures, and it's just refreshing to see. Because you're meeting so many new people. Everyone's just open to just talking.
Yeah.
Like, oh, where are you from? We speak English, even though it's like an Asian country.
Yeah.
I'm talking first. I'm talking about Hong Kong specifically because it's such an international city. Everyone could communicate in English, so it was kind of nice to just meet people from different backgrounds, from London to like Canada to Australia, different jobs. So it's easy to connect in those kind of cities because it's such a hyper city that's people are just doing everything there.
So, being a visitor in those countries, we obviously don't get the full experience, but we really see it as a huge change from our own environment. Canada, right? Canada is a great place, but it's so different that when
It's
you
so
come
small,
back,
yeah.
the gear shift is very palatable.
It's like you're on a 30 zone, and it's like a 60
you're on
zone,
like a super highway, toll free.
This is like a neighborhood drive, like going slow.
Yeah. So, before I get into my trip, how did you feel? I remember when you came back from Korea and Hong Kong, you were amped up. You were like, oh my God, I saw this.
It changed me.
Right. So how did it feel for you when you came back? And, did you feel like coming back to this slow pace, this rhythm, was it kind of weird for you?
Honestly, I had the hardest time when I came back, because I came back to work like the weekend after, so like 2-3 days after I came back, and it was just so hard to get into the rhythm. Like I just was not focused. I was like, I wasn't cutting on the deadlines. Like I wasn't submitting my things that I needed to do. And then bonus was coming up in February. I fucked that up too.
Oh, fuck.
I didn't get as much as I wanted. Because that was also my first year at the job. So I didn't know how the system worked,
Right.
Now I know exactly what to do now. It's like bonus coming up next month. I know exactly what to do. I'm on top of my shit. But last year I just came back from vacation, end of January, bonus is coming in like a week, 2 weeks after. And I lagged until like the spring or summertime. Like it was just a long lag, but I was more inspired in the more like podcasts, the more creative stuff. I was like so amped up, but my corporate life was like it was hard to get back into it. This stuff was easy because we were just like shooting the shit, content wise, I was more motivated to make more content, traveling makes me more motivated in my creativity, but less into my actual reality, my corporate life,
That could be a shirt.
Yeah, it could be. So yeah, I know. How did you feel like when you came back? Like you're working now, right?
Yeah, pretty much 3 days later, as soon as
Yeah.
I came back, it's back to work.
Jet lag the shit. Like
lag
you
as
don't want
shit.
you don't want to look at all your emails.
Yeah, so I'm definitely living through some of the stuff you mentioned right now. And my ass booked very important ass meetings. Like this whole month is stacked.
Yeah.
You know, so
You didn't allow yourself to like lag though. You're staying
I
focused.
definitely feel the lag,
Yeah.
but because of what I've scheduled, it kind of I have
refreshing your
to
brain.
I have to get there. You know, I'm lagging, and then oh shit, like 3 VPs are coming into the office to see a demo. So
Jesus.
I'm,
Yeah.
you know, I just have to get there, and it's kind of like the fight or flight kicks in.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit glad that that's there, but you know, a lot of what I'm amped up to address are some of the smaller habits in my life. You know, being more, making better use of my time. Fitness is a huge thing. You know, I think I was eating so much in Asia.
You wanted to work out, right?
I needed, I had a very visceral feeling that I need to do something every day, you know. So I think it's been 2 weeks since I've been back. I make sure I play basketball 30 minutes every day, every morning before I go to work.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's the easiest thing to motivate me, right?
Nice with it, eh?
Yeah. So I'm getting nice. The shot's nice. Cardio's coming back.
That's good.
I'm working on my dribbles, left hand, you know, just on the basics right now.
Good.
So yeah, my strategy has been, don't set crazy goals for yourself. Like keep it realistic, and so that it keeps you motivated. So 30 minutes basketball in the morning, I've been able to do that. And then when it comes to the gym, I'm hitting at least 3 times a week. And you know, starting off with that, I was just like, you know, just go, even if it's 25 minutes, 30 minutes, do something in there, and you know, we'll worry about the rest. Just about building that habit.
Now that I reflect back on what James and Kevin said, is I think a lot of the little things that we learned throughout our vacations or the new environment, they come back, and we as humans love to take little pieces of what we learned and apply it to our real lives. But I think how normal human acts when it comes to a change of environment is changing your environment and coming back home is like a massive vibe check, right? It's like going on the Autobahn and then you slam on the brakes.
Yeah.
So I think how certain people who are stuck in their daily lives and they don't know what to do in life, a lot of them tend to just sulk and say, fuck, I wish I could go back. Oh man, I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. My life sucks. I can only live if I'm in LA or if I'm in France, Paris, whatever. So that's one set of person. And coming from looking at how you guys managed it, I see that you guys are more the second type of people. The second type of people are more along the line of, okay, so what are the lessons that I can learn from this and apply to myself and my life? When I come back from New York, I don't go, shit, I wish I could go back to New York. I wish I had a vacation. No, I just look back at myself and go, all right, so scheduling is important. How can I schedule? I went back to my parents over the vacation. So I sat there for 3-4 days, not doing anything, playing with my niece and interacting with her. I didn't have YouTube open. I was looking at Miss Rachel and the Baby Shark channel for the past like 4 days. All I heard was Baby Shark. So I thought of different ways to create new content, and you know, that motivated me to just work on Notion and building a platform where I can be productive at home on my phone or my iPad. And I want to throw it back to you guys and see, like, why do you guys think that people really hit that break and they feel like their life is lacking without like that boost of serotonin or like that boost of fun
Yeah, I think the biggest impact of changing an environment is taking you out of your daily routine, right? And sometimes when you're in it, it's hard to reflect. It's hard to see it from a kind of bird's eye view. And so, I feel like that's the biggest benefit of changing environments, and lets you kind of break down what your current routine is. And especially when you come back and you feel yourself going back from 100 miles an hour to 30, you feel like that 30, you start to break it down, like, oh, do I need to always be going 30? Can I go at least 40, 45, do something different? Like, you feel it's kind of your old routine is new to you again, right? When you come back. And you mentioned that thing where some people, after they travel, is like, oh, the problem is where I am, so I need to change. I need to go to California or New York right now to live a better life. I never thought like that for a moment. It immediately dawned on me. It's that the people I saw over there, maybe because of their environment, largely because of environment, they have to adapt certain habits, certain lifestyles.
Oh, you don't want to be them when you're in Asia, bro.
Yeah.
You do not want to live there. You don't want to be a corporate worker there.
You do not want to be in the corporate rat race of Tokyo, man.
Imagine here is nice. It's really nice compared to there.
Yeah. So I kind of took it as like, oh, I can learn something from this, high difficulty society and bring it back to my low difficulty society, and I'll be, in a better position. That's kind of what that's how I internalize.
That's what he said. He's like, over there, the lowest bar is the Danny's. Like, like there's nothing below Danny. It's all Danny and above. Yeah. So imagine Kevin's and James versus all the Danny's. Yeah. Shit. What do I have to do?
Oh, evolution took care of their asses a long time ago.
Just a preface. I'm not that productive, so like whatever they say, just take it with a fucking grain of salt.
Bro, that's why I said minimum, man.
Minimum, yeah, he said minimum.
Like, if you dropped in there, they'd be like, okay, you can
you belong here.
We'll keep you, but you work on the escalators, all right?
Yo, I'm gonna find like some new way to clean those escalator spick and span.
Yeah. So I think we said earlier that the last kind of topic we wanted to explore is how can we get that feeling of changing environments outside of traveling, right? And I think I was touching on it a little bit, is engaging in different activities that you don't normally do, or it wasn't part of your previous routine, right? For my instance, it's, getting more into fitness, playing around with my time a little bit, doing something different with that free time that I have every day. I don't know about you guys, James. Do you feel a similar way? I mean, I
don't know if it's travel, but like staycations.
Oh,
so like going on a cottage, chalet, or just an hour away from where you live. That also helps. Or even like booking a hotel. Like a couple nights with your girl in the same city that you live. It's just nice to be in a hotel, have like nice sheets and new towels. It feels like a vacation even though you're in the same city. And then you go out and go to a restaurant. You kind of rediscover your own city. And also my second one is meeting new people. Like I said, like when I was at the clubs, at the bars, I was talking to all these kinds of people. I'm sure there's all kinds of people in Montreal as well, as an international city a little bit. So that's one other way to feel like, okay, like you don't have to travel, but you could have a new change within your own environment.
Yeah, I think it's, a lot of the things we've been saying, it's anything that kind of interrupts the status quo of your
routine. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, take a plane, go somewhere. Anything that puts you in a new environment with new people seeing things differently, seeing how people do things differently, that can inspire you, and have the same impact as, going on a trip and changing environments.
Yeah.
Yeah, because for me, like a lot of times, I am very fortunate to have very wealthy friends, and they're the type of people that travels every second week or every month to like a different location. They can explore things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if I travel, I can't work. And so, it gets really complicated.
Yeah.
So I found better ways or smaller ways for me to gain more inspiration, especially with my new gear. I've rediscovered fun ways to shoot the things that I do. And I think the first thing, number one, is if you are lucky enough to be able to work remote or being independent worker, working for your own business, I think changing the environment where you work in is a big difference.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people, they tend to work at their office. Actually, most people tend to work in their bedroom,
I hate it.
which is the worst thing because you're kind of combining your work and your sleep in the
Wait,
same
I
room.
do that at home.
I do
Yeah.
that, and it's
In remote.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't do that because then your body can't it can't separate
Yeah.
sleep and work together anymore
It's
because
true.
you're
It
in the
feels
same
weird.
room.
Do you sometimes feel the bed calling you?
No, it's just my chair's fucking uncomfortable, man. My back hurts.
Yeah. So sometimes like I would just pick up my iPad, go on my couch and do some work, or I would stand up at the counter while I'm making coffee. I'm like answering my notes or stuff. Or I would pick up all my stuff, go to the showroom, do some work, or go to a coffee shop, sit down, do some work.
Yeah,
Just changing the environment of what you're doing, like in the city, doesn't have to stay. You don't necessarily have to stay at a hotel. I'd say ideally a staycation in a hotel is great. Like I'd
That's it.
love to do that.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a small term solution just to find some new inspiration because you're at a writer's block or you're stuck on a subject of some sort.
Problem. Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. Just changing your environment of what you're working, where you're working, how you're working, what you're doing, right? Some people, let's say they work on their phones. Some people work on their laptops. Hey, try maybe just bringing your phone somewhere and trying answering your emails on your phone. Try, opening your big apps on your computer instead of your phone, like different things. And number two, I think the biggest thing for me to gain inspiration and putting myself in a different environment is watching a lot of videos on YouTube. There's so many creators out there. Like one I can think of off the top of my head is The Life of Riza. She films all her videos very cinematically, and it basically levels you up as a creator and seeing, oh shit, this is what I am able to do. Like her gear, granted she uses an FX3 and that's like cinema grade camera, but you could achieve those results if you actually put in the work into it.
Yeah. The same techniques at least.
Yeah,
Right?
and
Yeah.
basically any fashion people, right? I don't know, James, about you. You watching reels, you see people posting stuff. Like the other day, you sent me a reel. You're like, "Yo, we should do this."
Yeah. That's it.
And watching different types of content, but not falling within the doom scroll, but watching type of content that inspires you and not makes you want to just throw your life away.
It gets you ideas.
Yeah, exactly. I love watching those things, and it
Yeah.
just gives
That's how
me
I watch
inspiration.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to look for some different things that we can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get back into podcasts. I've been listening to Lex
Yeah, that's great.
Friedman,
Yeah.
Huberman. They're so, they're so impressive with what
Yeah.
they're able to do, like holding such high level intellectual conversations, but making it sound smooth, like a,
Anyone can
casual
listen.
conversation. I think we've made huge strides in what we do here, but definitely listening to those people not only gives me ideas for things we can talk about, angles we can take, but also, it gives me something to aspire to. I don't know if we're ever going to be like Harvard educated level of,
Hey, you never know.
of conversation, but
Never know.
Maybe we'd be like we'd be so in tune with being Asian Canadian that Harvard gives us a PhD in Asian studies.
it's a stretch, but it's not zero. The probability is not zero.
So I think that coming from us, right, the number one thing that we've noticed about traveling in a new environment is it really helps us define our creativity and helps us define like what we want to be in life. And I think for normal people, right? Normal people who just works a 9 to 5, they don't really have a side hustle. They don't have something on the side, and that's totally okay if you just want to work a 9 to 5 and just live a peaceful life and not worry about putting food on the table. How is my business going? Do you guys have any other things to discuss about when it comes to changing your environment locally? Because for us, it's like, it's always about, hey, how do I improve my photos? Jay, it's like, oh, how do I improve my content? Kevin, it's like, oh, how do I improve how I am and being a better podcaster? But normal people don't actually think like us. Most people just want a vacation and then they come back and they're like, ah, fuck.
Oh yeah. I know this. You move places.
Mm-hmm.
You change apartments if you need a new change.
Yeah.
Also, you change your job. If you're,
that's pretty drastic, but sure.
If you're bored of your job, you change it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not in this economy, but that's another story. But you get some new clothes. That's one thing I've done. If I'm feeling like I'm feeling down or something, I want to revamp my style, get some new clothes. That's one thing. And then, there's a couple things that people can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin, you mentioned earlier, like trying different new things, like habits.
Yeah.
On a smaller level?
Yeah, on a smaller level.
I said some big things.
Yeah. Changing your job, goddamn.
I was I'm just thinking, I feel like a pretty normal person in the sense of
you've been doing some stuff, no? Like you've been
yeah, I feel like, I think pulling the trigger on something that you've been wanting to do, right? No matter how small it is, I don't think it matters. Like my thing was just to go to the gym a couple times more and play a little bit more basketball. This is stuff that is very, mundane and achievable for me, but just occupying your time a bit differently, day by day, week by week, what's on your mind is a bit different. How you feel, your body feels a little bit different. And, it doesn't have to be something physical or fitness. I can imagine if, you've been thinking about taking piano lessons for a long time and, you start playing piano, you start finding a teacher, you start meeting other people who play piano. That's a new environment for you, right?
Oh yeah.
That's...
I've been I'm next week I'm taking Korean classes.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
And you don't have to say, yo, bro.
New environment, bitch.
Yeah. And what, at first it might just be you and, your Korean teacher, but then you're going to get better at it. Mina's going to finally show you to some of her Korean friends.
So then I can show to Kevin, her Korean friends.
And then a new environment for both of us, right? And then... it's just about that. Like what came with basketball is I'm starting to hoop a little bit more at the pickup games at my court, and starting to get to know some of the guys better, right? And as I keep doing that, again, you're putting yourself in.
We're playing ball in Toronto.
New people, yeah, it's right in my apartment.
I'm so down.
So yeah, I think it's just trying something new. It's not traveling to somewhere new. It's just trying something new.
Yeah, I think basically from what we've gathered today is that changing your environment is not necessarily about location, physical location. Changing your environment can be a physical state. It could be a mental state.
Yeah.
AKA some people love to meditate. Some people read just to change.
Exercise.
Just to get their
state.
mind off of there. It could also, environment could be socially, where you meet new people, you meet new things. It could be socioeconomical. It could be work. It could be everything. I think what we're discussing right now is not about changing your environment, but more breaking the status quo, like Kevin mentioned earlier. and breaking out of your habit. So I think at the end of the day, the best advice is if you feel the need to really constantly change your environment because you're not getting that dopamine feel of, let's say you're going to Paris and you're like, oh, I belong in Paris. I need to do that. Then there are certain things you should look inwards and look at your life that you're currently doing to see that, hey, maybe I am not doing what I want to do at home that I can do in a physical location instead. So, you know, some people say like, I miss the partying in Hongdae.
Yeah.
Maybe just party more here. Not that I'm a big avid of being a party goer, but
Yeah. And final thought to add on that is, you know, the reason why I think a lot of people feel like they need to have a big trip or travel to kind of get out of their daily routine. The reason why that feels so different, like such a new environment, is because when you go on a big trip, when you're traveling, you are not doing things that you normally do, right?
Yeah, that's so good.
As a tourist in a new location, you're very different from how locals live, right?
Right.
The locals definitely don't feel the same as you do. That's because, you know, you're seeing these tourist sites for the first time. You know, your days are scheduled that way. You're going to tourist locations. You're trying new food.
New language you don't understand.
Yeah.
You know,
if you move there after a year, after 2 years, if you're not
it'll be the same thing.
conscious about it, you're gonna go right back into those routines. You're gonna find 9 to 5 over there, and then, you know, you're gonna find your favorite coffee shop, and then boom, you're back at it.
It's just about being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's how you kind of
Yeah.
kind of learn new things, right?
Yeah.
And seeking uncomfortable experiences in your own familiar environment is much harder than, you know, when
So
you land in
hard,
a new country. Everything's
Travel
new,
is the
everything's
easy way,
uncomfortable.
just the expensive one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kevin, because he mentioned like you're living your life as a tourist, right? You're not living like a local. It reminds me that one time when I was in the old port and I was just walking around, I was bored. And I walked by this group of, like, I think they were like Thai or Chinese, like tourists. I don't fucking know. But as I was walking by them, the tourist guide is like, okay, everyone in the store. And they pushed me in.
Oh my God.
Thinking I was with them. So I was in the old port. I'm just looking at what was Le Petit Dep?
Yeah.
That green dep, and everyone's taking photos. I'm just there. I'm looking at everything. I'm walking with them for like 2 hours, right?
You with the group?
I'm with the group and I'm examining stuff as a tourist because, like, hey, why not? So this one guy turns around and he's like, oh, like, I haven't seen you in the bus. Like, where are you sitting? I'm like, oh, no, I got pushed in. Like, I'm actually from Montreal, but like, I'm just following you guys.
That's fucking hilarious.
Wait, the point of the story is that you rediscovered Old Port as this new place, this amazing place, right?
Yeah, like, I just looked at it from a tourist standpoint. I'm like, oh, I've never looked at Old Port. For me, it just looks like budget Paris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Budget Paris, very small, yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you don't have enough money to go to Paris, just go to the Old Port for like half an hour.
Old Port is nice though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's an excellent point. Like, think about how you react when you see tourists in your own city. Like, they're so excited. They're taking pictures of Sherbrooke Street. I'm like, bro, what are you guys doing, man?
It's potholes. It's pothole and traffic.
Yeah, literally here outside. You're like, what is
And there's
this
like
road?
4.5 hobos like on the street.
Yeah.
And on that note, my name is Danny. I'm here with my co-host.
KYP James.
Kevin G.
And remember,
To KYP.
Kill your pride, baby.
You could give me chills on a summer day, when we're laying still, but you make my heart race. Gonna keep me